Hey everyone, Craig Williams here, back with another tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you some little tips and tricks to improve your drum programming and just help the overall sound of your track and give it a little bit more, not be sort of so stagnant and just having the same sort of patterns or just chucking loops upon loops into your session. You can just try and work with what you've got and make it a little bit more funky or sound a little bit better. So I've got this little, just a simple kick, snare, and a hi-hat. It's pretty much the most basic sort of pattern you can think of. So some ways that we can go about making this a little bit more funky is just, what I like to do is just add in another kick. You can also just bring that volume down so it gives it, you can do this with velocity if you're using MIDI, but if you're using audio, I find this is the easiest way instead of having to draw a bunch of automation in. So all I've done is I've got the same kick pattern and I've just the same snare pattern. I've just added a couple of more kicks in there and kept the hi-hats the same, and then I got this little fill at the end. So we've gone from this pattern here, which is really basic and there's nothing really there, just lost the connection of my Mighty Mouse. Great, so I'll just go to the trackpad. So as you could hear there, we just got little kicks here and there, just sort of to give it a bit more of a funky, swung out feel. So if you're just sort of getting into drum programming and you don't really want to use too much of a broken beat and you still want that four to the floor sort of driving your track along, this is a good way that you can just add little kicks in here and there just to help add a little bit more to your track. So you can sort of push away from just having the standard four to the floor with the hi-hat. A lot of tracks I'm hearing at the moment are kind of a little bit boring when it comes to the drums. People just think that they should spend a lot of time on the synthesizers, and in some genres that's true as well, but I think if they spent a little bit more time on the drums, the tracks would go from sounding really good to really great. And as you can hear there at the end, we've just got this little fill, and I find having the little drum fills every sort of 8-16 bars, it just helps add a little bit more to the track. So I'll play that little bit again. So as you can hear there, it's just a little bit of a fill there, and then that also helps the DJs sort of, if it's at the end of every 8 or 16, they sort of know that there's either a change coming or that's sort of the end of the section and stuff like that. So it's just like a little bit of a fail safe for them. In the next one, this is just a really simple little snare sort of pattern you can do, and it helps just add just a little bit more. It's not really a swung feel, but just little bits here and there to sort of break up the monotony of just a track. Obviously I've got them all the way through, so again, if this was just to play out, it would be exactly the same. It would be getting monotonous, but if you put these sort of in sort of random spots in your track, it will help just give it a little bit more, give it sort of kind of a feel that an actual person is playing the drums. So I'll just play that for you. You can have a listen. So it's really simple, but I think that those little things, like if you use a combination of the two, you can start to build up some nice little drum patterns. And if you listen to some of the sort of more funky house, you'll hear lots of these little drum patterns and stuff like that, and I think that it helps add a lot to your track. If you don't mind using like more of a broken beat, you can go with sort of more towards a pattern like this. It's sort of keeping the snare roughly the same, but obviously just the fill at the end. Hi-hat's still the same, and then I've just got this little snare in here as well, which is just an 808 snare. It just comes with the EXS. It's like a stock standard sort of thing. This is sort of a bit more funky, a bit more broken. But again, this is just giving you guys some ideas on some different drum programming and stuff like that to sort of push you away from just having the standard sort of stuff. So I'll give you a listen to that. We will just... So you can hear there, I don't know why I had that EQ on there. It's off now, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, it's just ideas for having a little bit more sort of a broken beat. If you're sort of stuck for patterns, you can also just go and have a listen to some tracks and sort of just bring their track into your DAW and just have a look at where their sort of snares and kicks and everything fall, and just sort of get some ideas from that. It's a really good starting point if you're just sort of getting in. This is obviously, this tutorial sort of based at someone who's just sort of wants to get a little bit more out of their drum programming. The last three that we've got are just little fills that you can have in your tracks. This one's a really simple one. I know Claude VonStroke uses that. You can hear it lots in his tracks. Is just to have a simple reversed snare, and all I've done was just stretch it out. Obviously, it'd be better to have like a full snare, but just for ease of time, I've just put that in and just stretched it out. So give a listen to that. And I think by taking a little bit away at the end of at the end of an 8 or 16 or 32 bar section, it can be exactly the same as having a fill there. So it sort of gives the DJ or the listener a little bit of a tease to, oh yeah, there is a change coming and whatnot. So it's really simple, but a lot of people just sort of overlook that and they just go for either the white noise or like one of their sample pack builds and rises and stuff like that. So just something really simple, and all I did was just bring in a snare, and I just went to the functions and went reverse. All the programs have got, I'm pretty sure they've all got that, so it's a pretty simple sort of thing to do, and then I just stretched it out. Next up is, this is sort of for more of a driving sort of track, and then I've just got this little 808 snare again, and this is just a little fill that I, by using the velocity within the MIDI clip, that I've just done like a little bit of a fill. So I'll show you that real quick. As you can see there, it's just programmed in, so pretty simple sort of stuff, just by using velocity. So if you take a little bit of time to sort of tweak these little things, you can help your track come along a lot more. So yeah, and again, I just dropped out some elements and gave it space for the fill to come in, and you can hear this fill on my Yons remix, which I did for the Sweet Leech. I just did this little one, and it's really good. It helps give a good transition in the track without having to do another riser or something like that. And then the last one is, again, it's just with the 808. And what I've done on this one, glue them together, bring it up, is just got the little pitch bend to 0. Just got a little pitch bend, so as the fill comes in, So yeah, really simple sort of stuff, but it's another good little way to do a transition apart from using a white noise or one of your samples and stuff like that. Another thing you can do to sort of help your drums along, which I've done on this one here, just got a drum loop, which is the one down here. It's a pretty simple sort of drum loop there. And then if we go up, all I've done is converted that to a sampler instrument. So going like that, and then just gone convert to sampler track, and then that's taken all the parts and made it into this little loop here. And then all I've done is come along and then just pulled, it was the same as down was up. So I've pulled that down and then just let the amount of sound that comes out is dictated by the delay, the decay and the release. And then also I've just put an EQ, a compressor for this one is actually compressing the sound and just keeping the transients in sort of keeping them in line, and then we've got that as the sidechain compression. So and I've also gone along and as you can see I've added some swing to it, so some of the hits are just coming off, and it's all that is the MPC 55 swing. Adds a little bit more groove to it, and then when you add it to the actual it's not much, but all these little things can help, and once you start sort of combining a couple of these, so if we took this, moved it over here, there's little bits there, and then you could also come along and get rid of these ones, take these, just little things like that, and you start to sort of build up some nice and interesting drums as opposed to just having something really boring. And again, we could come along. So that one didn't work so well because of the got the snare and the kick sort of together, but these are the things you have to try out and sort of see what works and what doesn't work. So hopefully you guys have got something out of that and just picked up some little bits and pieces you can use on your drums. And until next time, see you later.